And my project is titled Praxis, Resistance, Leadership of Native Hawaiian Women in Sovereign Practices. So to start off, I'm going to play a short video of infamous Hawaiian sovereignty activist leader, Hononi K-Trax. I hope you all enjoy.
We have another call waiting. Hello. Could I go ahead. What's your question, please?
My question concerns, you blame it on the white man on how we came over and take your land. I don't understand when the Japanese are coming over and they're buying it, and that's okay. I don't see what this is about the Howleys coming over. You come over to our country and buy up our land too. It works both ways. I don't see how you can have these rallies and everything against the white man. This is America,
Let me just say something to this call. This is not America. This is Polynesia. Our country was stolen. That's one of your problems. You're ignorant, woefully ignorant. I am very active against Japanese ownership of our land. I have testified repeatedly at various commissions and at the legislature in opposition to any foreigner owning Hawaiian land. But you, caller, need to learn about Hawaiian history and about where you are. And that attitude that you have is the same attitude that Joey Carter has. You think you are in America. You are not in America. You are in a colony that is in Polynesia that was forcibly taken. Just as, I might add, all of Eastern Europe was forcibly taken by the Soviet Union, which Americans think is a very, very bad place. The bad, bad Soviet Union. Well, the bad, bad United States of America took Puerto Rico, it took Alaska, it stole Indian land, it took Hawaii, it took Guam, it took Micronesia, Palau, and you had better learn that history because you are the recipient of an imperialist tradition.
I think that video deserves a round of applause. I think this video touches on a range of topics from Asian settler colonialism to the violent effects of American imperialism to the ignorant dismissal of Native Hawaiian histories and epistemologies. However, in regards to my research, I wanted to use this video to introduce the outspoken, dauntless, and unparalleled leadership of Hononi K-Trax. As seen in the video, and also throughout many of Trask's written work, she has relentlessly defended Native Hawaiian sovereignty and has always called out the ways in which U.S. colonialism attempts to erase the narratives of Native Hawaiians. In her book, From a Native Daughter, Colonialism and Sovereignty in Hawaii, she famously contested that, by any standard, public, personal, political, our sovereignty movement is led by women. Using this framework, I reflected on our own class field trip to Hawaii. While in Hawaii, we visited, learned, and humbly participated in Native Hawaiian cultural practices. Whether it was in conversation, sharing knowledge, or in engaging in indigenous practice, Native Hawaiian women led the way. In particular, at both the Lo'i, where taro plant is grown and cultivated, and at the restoration site of an indigenous fish pond, Native Hawaiian women were the leaders that spoke to us, and also led their teams. They diligently explained the importance of sovereign practices, displayed care in their work, and had a protective relationship with their native lands. Beginning in the 1970s with the rise of the Hawaiian sovereignty movement, the revitalization of cultural customs and practices began, as many of the panelists had talked about. Hononi K-Trax has said, Hawaiians too are participating in the same decolonizing process, often mistakenly referred to as cultural revival. This conscious resurgence of cultural practices, traditions, and beliefs was and continues to be an act of resistance towards American hegemony. In my project, I argue that the impactful leadership of Native Hawaiian women has made decolonizing practice possible through their reassertion of sovereign cultural practices. In contextualizing my own observed experiences during our class trip and placing them into conversation with renowned Native Hawaiian scholars, I was able to forge ties between women's leadership and recognizing these practices as acts of resistance. The direct leadership of Native Hawaiian women has allowed for this reimagination of Hawaii to be possible. They have resisted erasure by continuing sovereign practices and actively participating in the Native Hawaiian sovereignty movement. Their practice is one of resistance, one of genealogy, one of love. Thank you. Cool. One more big round of applause for all of our panelists.